here is the content we will discuss today. So my dear students, today we will discuss this topic. First topic will be very, very important, not in terms of your syllabus, but also in terms of your, you can say, career. When you people will be working on the real-time servers, so you have to make some configurations. And for that, you have to configure your Linux server as well as Linux client with the help of some configuration tools. Now, we will discuss a number of configuration file which can be configured on the real-time servers. That will be our most important topic for today. Second topic we will discuss today, we will learn how we can mount and unmount a file system on Linux server. We will learn how we can mount, you can say, a pen drive, a CD-ROM, or any file system on your Linux server. Then we will discuss about the various architectures and types and various directory in your Linux servers. What are their roles? Why they are there? They are in your Linux server and like that. Then we will discuss about how we can configure message of the day in your Linux server. That is also an important aspect, because whenever we log in remotely from a remote location on the real-time server, so we don't know on which server we have logged in. So for that, some warning, some message, some welcome message will be displayed to you, and that can be configured with the help of message of the day. And last, it will be some file system commands. We will discuss about some, you can say, file navigation command and file system commands. We will discuss about some configuration commands, right? So that will be our motto for today's. So let us start the session. Okay, so first topic is working with Linux configuration file. We will discuss a number of configuration file, and we will practically demonstrate them, how we can work on that, how we can configure on that, right? So let us start. So here is a list of some configuration file, my dear students. So you can note these down, and you can just remember what is the role of these particular files. So first of all, let us discuss resolve.conf. I hope all of you are aware about DNS, that is domain name system. For example, in your class, all of you have a roll number, and with roll number you have your name. So of course, as a teacher, I have to maintain a register, attendance register, in which one side will contain your roll number and other side will contain the name. So my dear students, that is nothing but a type of DNS system in which name will be linked to your name. Name will be linked to your roll number, and roll number will be linked to your name. So there some table will be there. Similarly, on the internet, we have thousands, lakhs of your websites. Can we remember the IP address of those websites? It is not possible, because whenever we are human beings actually, and for any human being, remembering of numbers is very difficult as compared to remembering of name. I can remember name of few students in your class, but remembering of roll number will be a little bit difficult for me also. So this resolve.conf, that will contain some DNS records actually. What is the DNS server in this case? Suppose you want to open a server, you want to open a site, google.com, in your browser. So a request from your browser will be sent to your ISP, Internet Service Provider. That ISP will look for the record. What is the IP address of your google.com? And that request will be further forwarded to that particular, you can say, location, that particular server. And again, it will be converted back to your DNS name, domain name, and Google will, you can say, download it from the Google server to your browser. So let me just show you how this etc resolve.conf that can be configured. So means whenever we talk about Windows, in case of Windows, we can have a number of configuration files. Like I can provide the IP address, I can provide the subnet mask, gateway, DNS. We already discussed in your classes now. So right now I'm going for Linux configurations, how we can configure the DNS in your Linux server. So for that, I will use VI editor and open a file /etc under etc directory. Resolve.conf will be there. So resolv.conf. Press enter. Here I can configure the DNS record. So DNS in Linux, it will be represented by this name server. Just forget about this line. Only just remember this line first of all. I will explain this line first of all. So this name server means the server which resolves the name, which resolves the DNS name. It will be the DNS server, and this will be the address of DNS server 192.168.94.2. Right? In my case, it is the address of my local system. So it is giving such local domain. Local domain means your local server, local, you can say, group. And this particular service currently is controlled by Network Manager. Network Manager is nothing but a service that controls the configuration of this file. Of course, if we disable this Network Manager, you have to manually configure each and everything. You have to configure the IP address, subnet mask, gateway, DNS, and everything. But for now, it is being controlled by DHCP server. So if I want to change the DNS server, I have to just change this IP address. And this IP address will be the address of our DNS server. I'm just going back because I'm not going to change this one. Fine. So this is, you can say, a DNS server. It will contain the DNS server reports. Let me just again. Now, second file is etc abstract. My dear students, if you face any issue, you can share in chat windows. I will be happy to answer your queries. Second file is etc abstract. So my dear students, whenever we talk this, so you know, in our Linux server, we have a number of file systems. We have bootable partition, we have home directory, some pen drive will be connected to our system, some hard drive, some SSD, right? Some network share will be there. So a number of things will be connected to your system. Now, this particular file, etc abstract, it will just display all the mounted partitions on your system, all the mounted file system on our system, right? So etc abstract. Let me just demonstrate this one also to you. What you can do. First of all, I am doing, I'm just what I'm putting VI under etc directory, fstab file will be there. Enter. So if I press enter, actually, what it will show? It is showing a number of partitions. So my partition name is /dev/mapper RHEL root. This is root partition. You remember when we install Linux in your system, we create 3 partitions. First one was root, second one was root, and third one was swap partition. So it is displaying those. So first of all, it is root partition, and its file system is XFS. That is extended file system, not ext. This is extended, extended file system. This is the file system that is being used in RHEL 9 nowadays. Some competitor of it, they are using extended 4 partitions actually. Right. Now, next one is your boot partition. So this is your, you can say, unique, this is unique universal identifier. Means some tag, some name is given to this partition. You can access this partition from anywhere with the help of this particular tag. So this is your boot partition. This is also of type XFS. And third one, it is swap partition. I hope you remember swap means it is a analogous to your virtual memory actually. Means we can provide some partition of your hard drive or SSD in which we can do the calculation and use that partition as a RAM, as a portion of RAM. Right. So swap will increase the performance of your system. Fine. So this is your abstract. You can also modify this particular file if you want to install, suppose you want to install your pen drive whenever we start our computer, and initially when system boot, so automatically some pen drive will be shown to a particular location that can also be configured with the help of this particular file. We have to just do the entries and we can do the things. So this will display, this will manage all the permanently mounted file system. I'm repeating, permanently mounted file system, not temporary. In case of Windows, like you just install a pen drive, you connect a pen drive will be shown to you. And if we restart our computer, it will be automatically disconnected. But again, if we want to install it, we have to connect it again. But here we can just you can say permanently mount the things, right? So let me just close this one also. So this was your second file. Third particular command, let me just see. This is host name. Host name means we can provide some computer name. Like I'm just using a Windows system also. So what you can do, just right click on your computer, go to properties, and the first tab will show you the computer name, the group. Means that will be an identity for your computer. Here, in case of servers, we also have to provide different identifications. We have to provide name to a particular machine, and that can be done with the help of this file. This file name is under etc. It is host name file. Let me just demonstrate you. So what I'm doing, I'm just running two commands. First command is host name. In your computer, just run a command host name. Press enter, and it is showing localhost.local domain. That means its computer name is localhost.local domain. Host means computer name, and domain name means that group of that particular computer. I hope you are aware about Active Directory in case of Linux, in case of Windows, in which we can create different type of groups, and in those groups we can manage the resource permission, the user permissions, and like that. So let me just run a command host name. How I can change this name, my dear students? So for that, just run a command host name, but you should be as a root. You have to work as a root for that, right? So permissions from the root should be there. So host name, and then provide the new computer name. Let us see. I'm just giving Linux server. I'm just giving Linux server. Press enter. And then again, I'm just running this command host name. Enter. Now its computer name will be Linux server. Before it was localhost.local domain. So in this way, we can just change the name of your Linux server, Linux computer. In this case, my name is Linux server. Fine. So it is just for identification. If some account department is using some server, I can provide a name account department. If some director office is using this particular computer, I can provide a name that is director office, and so on, just for identifications, right? So this was host name. Next one is etc host. My dear students, whenever we talk about host means I can provide a sequence in which one side will contain the IP address and other side will contain the name. That means, like I just give an example of DNS now. So before DNS, we use this type of configuration files. We can call any IP with the name and name with IP. Let me just show you. If I run this vi etc host, enter. So currently this file is not in use actually. But why it is not in use? Because the DNS replaced this. But in your computer, what we can do? Suppose if a computer is there, its IP is 192.168.1.1. You know the IP address. I have to provide a name to this IP address. What you can do? Press tab and provide the name. So let me just give IP address name like account office. So this IP address, if I call this computer by this IP address or call this computer with the help of this name, I can call this. This is my first computer. Let me just see. This is my second computer. Its name is Director Office PC. Fine. So I can just prepare a table in which one side will contain the IP address and other side will contain the name. I can just call any computer with the help of this name or this IP address. So this pairing will be there, and that is the use of host file. In case of small computers, small networks, we can use this particular thing. But you know, nowadays we have millions of websites. So it is not possible to prepare this type of table, this type of file. And moreover, this type of file we have to share in each and every computer in our network. So this is not feasible nowadays. But for your home network, you are using 2 or 3 computers, we can use this type of things. That will be very simple actually. So I'm just saving this one for now. Sorry, let's escape and save. So this is the use of etc host file actually. It will just display the host name as well as IP address. A pair will be there basically. Moreover, in case of etc, we can also have host.deny file. My dear student, this is very important because of security point of view. Suppose if you want to deny the access of your system for a particular IP address, then you have to do its entry, its IP address entry in this particular file, etc host.deny. For that, what you can do is simply open this host.deny with the help of vi editor. So command will be vi space / etc host.deny and just write down its IP address. It's so simple. So remotely, that particular computer cannot access your server. Next file is etc time zone. My dear students, if you want to configure, you want to change the time zone, I hope in your computers when we install it, so we don't bother about the time zone, bother about the, you can say, regions. So most of the computers, they are showing some wrong, you can say, timing. So what you can do, you can just change your time zone with the help of this etc time zone file. Next one is very, very important. We already discussed this etc password lots of time. This is one of the most important file on your Linux server, etc password. It will display lots of things, the username detail, the password detail, the, you can say, some comment information, some home directory. What are the home directory of each and every user? What, in which shell they are using? What is the type of the account? Whether it is a service account or it is a limited account, and so on. So this is very, very important. Let us see this particular file in detail. Students, if you face any issue, you can share in chat windows. Don't hesitate to ask the questions. So let me just open this PAWSWD file, vi space / etc / PAWSWD. Enter. So this is the file actually. The file that is starting from the root user So my dear students, let me just check whether some file, some entry is there that is completed with the help of all the comments. We check. Okay. So here you want to just display this one, section E. We will discuss this line. First of all, the first field, that is section E, that is capital section E. It is representing nothing but the username, the login ID of the user. So all these entries, they are representing the login information. Which type of information it is? So section E is username. After this first column, X is there. So this second field, it is representing your the password field. But my dear students, this particular ADC password file can be opened with the help of a limited user. Any one of these user can access this one. So this will be not secure to you can say show your password in plain format, plain text in this particular file. Due to security, it is hidden, it is encrypted and not shown. Instead of password, this X is represented in each and every user. Right. I will also discuss how we can see this password. Third field, that is representing this 1006. It is nothing but it is you can say user ID. This is nothing but user ID. You know, each and every user have some user detail, user identification detail. Like your roll number is there. Similarly, whenever we create a user in your Linux server, some unique identification will be given to it, and this is user ID. Next field, third field, it is representing group ID. My dear students, whenever we create a user in a Linux server, so particular user will be a member of a group. Means whenever we create a user, so some group will be automatically created. Now that particular group, it can be created by us also, or by default, if we create a user one, same you can say group of same name, user one will also be created. Fine. And chances will be the user ID, it will be same, and group ID, it will be same. For now, it is different actually, but it may be same. Now, next field, it will be the comment section. Means we can add some information about the user. This user is for which type of activities? This account is for, you can say, backup. This is for CSC department and like that. What is the use of this? So we can just add some information about this. Next, it will be very important, that is your home directory. Whenever we create a user, we have to assign a home directory to that particular user. What is the use of home directory? The information, the data, each and every file of that particular user will be placed somewhere, and that somewhere is nothing but the home directory. So entire information, entire data will be kept in home directory. So this will be under root, a folder home, and under home, the BTech directory is there. That will be home directory for section E. So in this case, I have changed the name of this one. I will also discuss how we can change the name, change the directory, change the command, and so on, change the cell. We already discussed change the cell. So for now, this is nothing but shell bin sh. Fine. So when I ask any one of you that you have to just display the user name, what are the users in your system, then you can just display the field number first, that AAA, user one, Sonu, section C, test one, section E. So these are the list of users that are created on your Linux server. Fine. So this will be basically the list of users on your system. Right. So this is very, very important file actually. In this case, some users are given, some services are given. We already discussed that service account is there and so on. So for now, let me just close this one. If any question, any doubt is there, I will be happy to answer your queries, students. Till now, any question is there, you can share in chat window. Okay, let me just check this one. Okay, I think no queries there. So let us move further. 1004. Okay, okay. So let me just see. We just open this one. 1004. This one. So basically, I say now the first field, this will represent the login name, the username of a user on your server. When we create a user, we have to provide the username. This is username. The second field is password field, but it is hidden. It is not shown in this file. I will discuss the shadow file where we can just find out the information about this password. So this third one is 1004. That is the user ID. This is nothing but a user ID, identification for a user. And this fourth field, that is also same. I say now, whenever we create a user, by default, the user ID and group ID, that will be same. But of course, they are different items actually. One is user ID and that is group ID. So they can be same, but no user can have same user ID. No group can have same group ID. Right. So here one is user ID, third field, and fourth field is group ID. I hope this is clear, students. Then Sunny Das, it is clear, beta? Okay, okay, beta. Fine. So let us move further. Next file is etc group. So I see now, when we create some user, so user detail will be there. Can we find some groups information about this? Of course, etc group file will be there. Let me just show this file also. When we open this file, that is come out of this by just writing colon WQ, right, and quit. Let me just clear this one. So what I'm doing, I'm just opening etc and group. So etc group. This particular file will contain the list of all the user of all the groups that are created in your Linux server. Press enter. So just move upper. Fine, friends. So first group is root. Its group ID is 0. So root is the only user, only group whose ID is 0. Otherwise, nobody, no group, no user will have ID 0. Only root can have. You have to remember this. Bin, this is a group. Its ID, its group ID is 1, and so on. So a number of groups are shown here. We will discuss about this wheel group actually. I hope you remember this wheel group is a group that is also known as sudoer group. We can provide the sudo permission to a number of users with the help of this wheel group. Means if a user is a member of wheel group, then that user can use the sudo command. So this Narendra, Sonu, section A, section C, and capital Sonu, they all have permission for using the sudo command. Remaining user, they cannot. I will also discuss this one when we discuss about the group management. So and so on. So this is there are number of groups. Last group is AAA and its group ID is 1016. So this is the detail of all the groups basically. Let me just come out of it. What else? Then we have the next group, next file. We are discussing about the configuration file of Linux, which are very important for the configuration from a administrator point of view. So next one is shell. Last session we have discussed what are the different type of shell, students. We have discussed you can say bash was an universal shell, but some system may have Z shell, some may not have. So that depend upon the software packages installed on your system. We will also discuss how we can install different shells in your system by using some various software packages in the coming sessions. But for now, let us see what are different type of configuration files. So etc shell, this particular file will show the available shell in your computer, in your server. So let us see that you will see the content under etc and then shells. We will see the content of etc shells. Enter. So these entries are there basically in my system. These all are the these are the available shell. SSL is there, bash is there, Emacs is there. Fine. When you people will run this particular command in your system, so output may be different. That may depend upon which type of shell you have installed, my dear students. Next is shadow. Next is etc shadow. So this particular file will display the password of each and every user. Let us see cat etc shadow. Enter. So here, my dear students, can I see the password of root also? Let us see. Yeah. So just remember this line. The first line that is representing root. So here, the password is shown in encrypted form. You can see the password is shown in encrypted form. This is the password actually. Fine. So you can copy this password and you can decrypt it. Now some people will say how we can decrypt it. So for that we can have some online tools. Some algorithms are there, and these algorithms may help to decrypt your files, decrypt your passwords. But there is no such guarantee that your password will be decrypted. The password is, you can say, a little bit simpler or intermediate, then it can be. But if password is very complicated, that algorithm cannot be, you can say, it will be not possible to decrypt that one. So, but you can try. You can try. So I am sharing some, you can say, some files, some names like crackstations.net is there. Crackstation or crackstation. You can just write down. It is not in your, you can say, portal or notes. Crackstation.net. I think this site is there. Let me check. Yeah, this is crackstation.net. What you have to do, my dear students, you have to copy this particular file, this encrypted file, and you can just paste in this. You can just paste in this. Copy this encrypted file, encrypted data, and paste here in this box. After pasting it, just click on I'm not a robot and just click on crack hashes. The password will be shown as a normal text actually. This is how you can decrypt your password. You can find your password from etc shadow file. You can copy that password, paste here, and then click on crack hashes. I'm sharing this in your chat windows. You can just try on your systems. You just check. I can share. Yeah. So this is your portal through which we can access, we can track your stations actually. Fine. Fine. Okay. Now, next one is, students, till now, if you face any issue, please let me know. After this shadow file, next file is CPU, you can say probe directory. Probe directory. Let me just show you. We will discuss about the uses of probe and various directories in coming slides. But for now, this probe directory is very, very important. It will contain some real-time data, some kernel-related data, some online, you can say, data that can be used for the real-time of applications. So here we can find some information about CPU as well as your memory. For that, let me just show you some examples, some demonstrations. Okay, let me clear this one. My dear students, what you can do, you can use this cat command to display the content of probe under probe directory. We can have a list. We can have a list of files actually. Let me just click on this one. It is showing 338 data. So for now, it is not possible to display each and everything, but you can just check about this. It will show the uptime, it will show the terminal, it will show the partitions, SCSI partition will be there, zone information will be there, virtual memory information will be there. But for now, I'm interested only in CPU info. So command will be cat space / probe / CPU info. Press enter. So my dear students, I can find out some information about my processor. Processor is single core. Which type of features are enabled? This one. CL flash size is how much, and so on. So what is the family of my processor, and so on. So what will be the use of this particular information? So this probe directory, its information is very, very helpful in you can say ethical hacking. Hackers use the architecture of your processor and so on for their purpose. Because if I know which type of processor you are using, it will be helpful for me to attack on your server. Moreover, I can find out information about your RAM also. For that, you can use cat / probe then / mem info. Cat space / probe / mem info, memory information. Enter. So basically, this particular file will contain information about your RAM. So total cache memory is how much, swap, inactive, active, swap, so on. Bit related information is there, slash information is there, and so on. Fine. So this particular information is helpful for the attackers actually. You can find out. One more file that we will discuss, that is network configuration file. This is under etc. Network file will be there that will contain information about your networks. My dear students, let me just open this one also. Let me just open cat /etc/ networks. Some more file are there in etc directory. Some operating system, some version of Linux servers, they can use under sysconfig. We can use network script, and under network script we can use Ethernet 0, Ethernet 1, Ethernet 2, depending upon the number of LAN cards. If you are using Ubuntu, then you can just find out information from sysconfig file. So for now, I'm just pressing enter, and this is the information about my IP configurations. So default routing that is enabled in this case, basically loopback address is given and your local address is given basically. So IP address is 169.254.0.2 and so on. Fine. So this is these are some commands actually, some configuration file we have discussed that can be used for configuration of your Linux servers. Let us move to second type of things, second topic actually. Fine. So let us move to second topic, that is mounting and unmounting file system. Mounting and unmounting file system. So what do you mean by mounting? My dear students, when we talk about mounting, that means you have to put your items somewhere so that you can easily access them. Now, how we can relate this to your operating system? Like you insert your pen drive, so your content of your pen drive will be shown in a particular file, in a particular folder or location actually. Right. So that is nothing but mounting. So put your files or content of a files in your file system so that a user can access that. That is mounting. Here, what we can do, we can use some tools to mount and unmount. But before that, we have to find out information about which type of hardware devices are connected. If I install, really, today's we are using RHEL 9 operating system. It is very, very intelligent. But when we talk about 5 or 10 years back, so it was not possible to automatically connect your pen drive to your operating system. We have to manually mount that, right? So if I insert our pen drive or insert our CD-ROM or DVD-ROM, in the past we have to run the command so that these particular devices will be connected to your operating system, to your Linux server, and then we can access that one. Automatically, it was not possible to detect and you can say access these type of devices. For that, we can use mount and unmount commands actually, right? So let us show some demonstration about it. That will be much more better. My dear students, I want to just find out which type of devices are connected to my system. Which type of file system are available in my system. And I will try to mount some available system to a particular location in this session. First of all, let us run this command lsblk. The first command is lsblk. That is list all the block devices. What do you mean by block devices? The storage devices in which we can store our data. Fine. So when we run this particular lsblk, then we can use this command. Let us run this command lsblk. Fine. So when we run this lsblk command, this is the output. Here we can find what is the total size of our hard drive, what is the name of our hard drive, what are the type of file system, what is the mount point. So suppose this is SR0, it is the name of my device. Its size is 7.9 GB and it is a ROM type, that is read-only memory. You can just make an idea. This must be a CD-ROM or DVD-ROM. Where it is mounted, this is mounted in Run Media, Sonu, RHEL 9, and so on. This is the exact path actually. This is the complete path where we can just find out the information about this. Now, second is 30 GB hard drive. This is nothing but a drive, and its name is NVMe0 and 1. Now, my dear students, you can just see this particular particular hard drive is divided among these particular type of partitions actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 partitions are given under this disk. The total is 30 GB, and this 30 GB is further divided amongst this particular thing. So here what we can do, okay, sorry, one more partition is there. This one, this is separate one. Boot is separate one. Fine. So boot partition in which the bootable files will be stored. Its size is 1 GB. Its name is this one, P1. And this P2, this is divided into two type of things. That one is your boot partition that consists of 27 GB. It is represented as slash notation. And second one is swap partition that consists of 2 GB. So we can just find out information about the mounting point from this particular device. But one more option is also there. We can use df command. Df means disk format. Enter. So it is displaying a little bit more information about this one. Which type of file system are mounted on your system? We can use the file system name. So this file system name is TMP file system. Total blocks 4096, used 0, available 4096, and it is mounted on /dev partition. Second is /dev/sm. Third one is /run, root, boot. So these all are different type of things, actually different type of partitions. Basically here what we can do, we can use this particular mount point that can be used to mount these file systems. Fine. So once we find out information about you can say these partitions as well as device mount point, we can remount any device and so on. Let us see how we can mount that. What I'm doing, I'm just trying to mount this boot partitions on a particular device. Currently, it is mounted on this particular device /dev/env 0n1p1. Let us mount this one on your desktop or in your home directory. So for that, what you have to do, my dear students, just use, okay, let me just unmount this one. That will be better. I'm using this CD-ROM or DVD-ROM. Fine. So just try to unmount. Try to mount first of all. Mount space. You want to mount which thing? This particular device. /dev/sr0. Just write down its name. /dev/sr0. So sr0. Space. Type the location where you want to mount it actually. So what I'm doing, I'm just mounting it /home. Press enter. So it is showing that mount the source write protected, mounted read only. We already know that your CD-ROM is write protected, it is read only, so it will be installed as read only. So let us again run this df command and see there is change in this particular line or not. So let's run df again and see what is the change. So my dear students, in this particular line, you can just see what is changed. This mount point. Before that, it was run media sonu rhl9, and now it is just under home directory. Can we verify this one? Of course, we can use cd space/home, enter. If I run ls command, you know, ls means listening of file. It will display content of your file. So it is showing the content of my CD-ROM. These are content of my CD-ROM or Linux DVD, installation DVD. This is how we can mount a particular device from one location to another. But by mistake, I remount this on a wrong location. Suppose now I have to unmount it again. How you can unmount this one? Simple umount command is there. Then type the location you want to, type the mount point you want to unmount. So in my case, it was home, the center. Okay, it is busy. Let us try to your hardware device. In some cases, it may be busy. Okay, currently where I'm actually, currently where I am, I'm working under home actually. Fine. So let me just use, come outside of it and then try to unmount the hardware device. Dev slash SR0. Fine. So it is unmounted. So you have to come out of it, and you can also use the hardware file system to unmount a particular file. Let us use this SFDF again. Now again, it comes back to its real mounted location. It was run media. Before that, it was installed under slash home. Fine. So this is how we can mount a file system, how we can unmount a file system, and so on. So my dear students, if any question, any doubt is there till now, we have covered some basic configuration files, some important configuration files, as well as mounting and unmounting. Any question, any doubt is there, you can ask.
So just take a 5-minute break, guys, and examine what you learn. And if you have any question, then please tell me. Basic needs for the mounting.
Okay, true. Actually, mounting means we have to display the content of our, you can say, pen drive to a location. Suppose in case of Windows, when we insert the pen drive, so in my computer, some portion, or you can say some partition will be shown in which we can access the content of your pen drive. But in many cases, we have some specific location. Suppose I need uh, to display the content of my pen drive only on my desktop. By default, it will be shown in my computer. Similarly, in case of Linux, we can have some, you can say, some locations under root, under home directory. So to display the content of a device on a particular location, we have to mount it. Otherwise, operating system will mount it by default in a default location. Right? We cannot control that location without this mount point actually. Mounting means to display something, to display the content of your pen drive on your server, on your Linux computer. Without mounting, you cannot display anything. Is it clear, Tanu? Fine. So let us take two-minute break, right? You can just analyze what you, and any doubt is there, you can just ask basically. Fine. Just share in chat windows. I will revert within 1 minute. We are taking 1 minute break. Fine.
Yes, Satyam, of course we can edit these password file, of course. Yes. You can open it on the VI editor and you can change it. No issue about that. Anyone else have any query? Then you can ask it on chat box. go through the content that sir described, learn once again, and feel any problem, then ask question.
Okay, student, I think no queries there. Let us start again. So we already discussed about the mounting and unmounting points. Na? So next topic is we will discuss about the Linux file system and various directory that comes in particular file system. My dear students, you know Linux uses hierarchical file system. Hierarchical means like grandparents are there, then your father is there, then you are there, and so on. That will be a change actually. Here also, root is the parent directory of each and every you can say thing in Linux. Root will be the parent of all the directory. Here, this is the list of different type of directory that are available under the root. My dear students, you can see in case of Linux, just go in your Linux system and try to browse these directories. It was not possible to write each and every directory here. So here what we can do, click on activities, go to this files, and here click on other location, and computer icon is there, you can just click on it. So these all are the directories actually. Some directories are created by me. They will not be available in your computer, like this CU is there, this hard link file is there. But most of the things that they will be available, AFS, bin, boot, then you can say DAV, etc, home, lib, root, proc, op, mnt, media, lib64, run, so on. So these all are the directories that comes under the root directory. Let us discuss what are the use of these directories. So here, first one is bin directory. So under root, bin directory. So bin directory will contain all the binary files. In simple language, you can remember all the commands. You can say we are using. Most of them are stored under this bin directory. If we use ls, it will be stored under bin. If you use cp, dir, ls, and so on, all the commands and essential services, essential commands, they will be stored in bin directory. Second is your boot directory. So boot will contain all the information about the bootable file. So all the static bootable file that are required to run your computer, to start your computer, to boot your computer, that will be stored under boot directory. Next one is tab/tab. So you know, whenever we install something, we connect some RAM, processor, some hard drive, some pen drive. So that particular device will be treated as a file, and for that a file will be created. The simple concept in Linux is each and everything in Linux is a file. I repeat, each and everything in Linux is a file. So there will be device file also, and this particular dev directory will contain device files. Examples are /dev/SDA. That can be used for you can say your secondary storage devices. It may be /dev/HDA for your primary devices, primary hard drive, and so forth. Then next one, it will be etc directory. So you can just understand etc means etc. So here it will contain the information about your system configuration files. Like in the past slides, we see some configuration file like etc pawswd, etc shell, etc group. Right. So a number of configuration files that exist in etc directory. Then form directory. Form directory will contain the data of a particular user. The entire data of a user will be stored under form directory. Fine. Then lib. Okay. Well, means whenever we create a user, a separate form directory will be created for that particular user. Like in case of Windows, we create a user 1, we create another user 2. So they will contain different desktop, different document folder, different downloads in case of Windows. Similarly, the case of in the case of Linux actually. Lib. So lib will contain the shared library files that can be used for different type of applications. Media, it will contain the information about the removable devices, the media, storage media. MNT, it will contain all the mounted file system, like whenever we have to create. In the past example, when we give example of mounting the file system, mounting the you can say CD-ROM. So by default, we can you can say by standard rules, we have to mount this under this MNT directory, right? It will be much more better. Or this is a particular type of standard that we will mount each and every system under MNT if we want to mount them. There is no restriction. You can mount it anywhere. It is up to you. But this MNT, this should be used for mounting the file system. Another is OPT. OPT means optional packages. That means if we add some add-on packages, this comes under this OPT. Then SBIN. SBIN means system binaries. Of course, bin and SBIN, they will contain the utilities as well as applications. But this SBIN will contain only the system binaries, system related tools. I hope in the first session you remember how we can recover the password of root, and there when we restart our computer in safe mode, so init6 or a reboot command, they don't work, but we have to use /sbin/reboot -f. So this command, this type of tools are also available in troubleshooting mode or single user mode. Then SRV. SRV means it will contain the data for all the different type of services that are running on your computer, on your server. Temp will contain the temporary files. Then user, it will contain specific user utilities and applications. And it is quite similar, like we can have different type of configuration file for different users. Then we will also use this proc directory. The proc means it will contain the process information. We see proc CPU info, proc mem info. So this type of information is very useful. It is live information about that particular Linux server. So these are the few directories that will help you people to understand what is there inside of your root directory. You can just note down this particular screen actually, or you can just take the screenshot of this. This screenshot is this picture is not there on your portal actually. So here it is given some examples. The previous slide is much more explained here with examples, like root directory is there, under root this bin directory is there, and under bin it will, these are the examples, some examples like subsum command, bash, cat, chmod, cp, date. So you will notice these are nothing but these are the commands actually. So most of the commands that comes under this bin directory. Second, these are the examples of etc directory. So /etc/cron tab. You remember we use cron tab. Then host We already use fstab, then host.allow, host.deny, etc password, etc resolve.conf. So a number of etc shell, etc time zone, all configuration files are stored in this etc directory. Under sbin, we can have if config, reboot, we already used the last second one, right? Then mk swap, mk file system, root. These are the, you can say, commands actually. Next one is user. So under this user bin, under where we can have cache related information, log related information. You can just see this one also. You can just use cat where, then log, cat space slash where slash log. You can run this command and see the log related to your computer. Cat space slash where slash log. Device file, we already discussed home directory, lib, mnt, op, probe. The root directory will contain the root, you can say home, it will be home directory for your root users. So in this slide, if any question, any doubt is there, you can just share in chat window. If anything you want to ask from this slide. Okay, I think no question is there. Now let us discuss about the type of file system. My dear students, I hope you are aware about some file system when we format our pen drive. So in case of Windows, multiple options may be there. You can format your pen drive with the help of FAT32, or you can configure with the help of NTFS. Similarly, in case of Linux, we can have a number of file systems. Let us discuss about different type of file systems. So starting from very basics, first is your BFS, that is boot file system. So we see /boot partition. Nowadays, its formatting also changed. Currently, your BFS that is not in use actually. Only SFS that is used by your most of the file systems, or extended 4 is used actually. But you should remember that we have used a BFS, that is boot file system, for the bootable partitions. We have used CDFS, that is compact disk file system, for CD-ROM or DVD-ROMs. We have used different versions of ext. So ext2, extended 2, ext3, ext4. These all are the different versions of extended file system that are used in Linux actually. Currently, extended 4 is used actually. HFS is hierarchical file system used for MacBooks. HPFS is your high performance file system that can be used for OS2. This ISO 9660, that is used in case of your CD-ROM actually. And this Minix, that was also an older system that was used by Linus Torvalds for your Linux. So initially it was in use actually. Now it is obsolete. And again, if you can say one of the favorite actually from the Microsoft, first one, that is your MS-DOS. So of course MS-DOS still we are using MS-DOS actually, right? But different type of versions are there. Nowadays we have NTFS as well as REFS file system. Check, yeah, it is there. So NTFS, we are using NTFS and REFS file system. NTFS is networking, new technology file system, and it is still in use actually. Very secure, more size of your files, larger files we can store on here, more secure. Next one is Razor file system, REFS. So it is also secure. One common feature, that is your journalism, that is present here. Now what is this? This file system will keep a log of all the transactions which are not committed actually. That is very, very helpful for backup and recovery. So early, you can say faster recovery and backup can be done with the help of Razor file system. But in case of Linux, it is not so much popular. Nowadays, this file system, Razor's file system, that is used in Linux servers actually. Microsoft is using this REFS actually. Next one is VFAT, virtual FAT. So this is also one of the older type of file system, not in use nowadays. So these are all the different type of file system we have discussed in case of Linux. Next one is message of the day. Students, if you face any issue, you can share in chat window. I will be happy to answer your queries. Now, message of the day. My dear students, when we go somewhere, we look for some identification mark so that we can ensure that we are going on the exact path. Similarly, when we access some server remotely and even in command prompt, even in terminal mode, so we have to ensure that I have logged on onto the current, you can say correct server. For this message of the day, that will be very helpful, right? So message of the day, it will you can say provide the confirmation that we are working on the real time of servers actually. Fine. Now we can configure this message of the day with the help of a file, that is MOTD file. This MOTD file exists in etc directory, and we can just simply write our message whenever we log in on the server with the help of some command prompt, some terminal. This message will be displayed. Let us demonstrate first of all. So okay, yes, well, so let us go to our system. I'm waiting for your queries. If any question is there, I will be happy to answer. So first of all, let us open this file vi space /etc/motd. MOTD is nothing but message of the day. Enter. I also want to correlate this with CCTV system actually. Whenever some CCTV is there, so some warning message will be written on the wall. You are under surveillance, right? So this is quite similar. We can just write down some warning messages. Yeah, you are working. You have logged in on a government web server. So illegal access is strictly prohibited, and so fine. So let us write something like I'm just writing some warning. You can write some welcome message, or I'm writing some warning. Attention, you have logged on to the government server. Illegal access is punishable offense. Fine. So let us save this one. Press escape, shift, colon, WQ. So write some message and then change this one basically. Right. So I'm just saving this one. After saving, let us check whether the content are updated or not. Fine, it is updated. Now, how we can check whether this particular you can say message will be displayed or not? So currently, what I'm doing, I'm using some other virtual terminal, right? So I have configured this with the help of root, and I will try to log in with some other user, right? So just use Control Alt F4. I have just pressed Control Alt F4. I hope I have to use my magnifier so that I can show you what's happening on my screen. Fine. So just use some login credentials for this. I'm using SONU, and password is enter. I think this is not working. So let me just check capital SONU, username, password is enter. So okay, now you can just see I have logged in with the user SONU, and this particular message is displayed on the screen. Attention, you have logged onto the dash dash dash. Whatever message we have written, it is I can say displayed on the client screen, right? So we can just see that message will be displayed. Now, this may be, you can say, some common message. This may be some warning. This may be some you can say instructions from the server administrator, right? For example, you people are working, you people are using internet now. So you see the login page. On the login page, some information will be displayed to you. Similarly, we can configure this one. So this is known as message of the day. So let me just close this one. Any question, any doubt is there, so you can ask. Let me just use Control Alt F2. Let me. Okay. One more thing I have to clarify that this particular message will be displayed only in command prompt, only in terminal. In GUI, it will not be displayed actually. Now, second issue is that currently I have accessed this from my local computer. But second case, it may be that someone want to access my computer from a remote computer with the help of SSH or PuTTY. I hope you are aware about how we can remotely access a Linux server with the help of a PuTTY or that's it, this SSH server. So here, what I have to do, I have to just change the SSH configuration file, and that can be accessed with the help of etc sshd-config, right? So you can configure this from this one and just modify one line. Search for this particular line, print MOTD. By default, no will be there, and we just modify this print MOTD from no to yes. Only this single line we have to change this. Fine. That's so simple. Just save this particular thing, particular file, restart your SSH server, right? So of course there may be some configuration that will be updated only after restarting your service, right? And the message will be displayed over, right? So this is how we can configure the message of the day. I hope this is clear, students. Any question, any doubt is there? I'm waiting for your queries. Okay, then now let us move to the next topic, and that is file system command. So I will discuss few commands from here, right? So first command is man. Man, that means we will discuss man, echo, info, ls, uname, host name, reboot, head, tail, less, more, who am I, then history and ID. So let us directly move to the demonstration. That will be much more better. So whenever we talk about man, my dear students, I am just a new user on the Linux server. I don't know anything. I'm not comfortable about commands actually. So what I will do, Just remember one command, man. Man, that means manual. It will display the manual page for a particular command, right? So if you have a Linux computer and you know the manual command, you can do everything. How? See, I'm just asking what is use of this echo command. I don't know what is the use of echo command. So let us see. Just use man space echo. So it will display the manual page of echo command. Press enter. See what will be the output. So it will display the manual page. Means echo. What is the use? Display a line of text. What are various options we can use with the help of echo? Everything will be displayed. -n, that means do not output the traveling new line. -e, enable interpretation, and so on. So everything will be displayed over here. So this man will help to find out information about a command. That means it will display the manual of a command. Then let us discuss this echo. So echo can do two things. One, it will display some information. I'm just typing hello and under double quotes all. Press enter. So same screen, same text will be displayed on the screen actually. Hello all will be displayed on the screen. It's so simple. Whatever means you can just correlate this thing. Echo. Echo means my sound is going on there and coming back. So whatever I am writing on the screen, it is reflecting on my screen. So simple. But here, this can also be used to display the content of some variables, like whatever I can do, echo space dollar, and in capital letter it is shell. Now shell is a predefined variable. Variable, you know, variable means it can store some values. In case of Linux, we can access the value of variable with the help of this dollar. So we can, if we append dollar and try to echo this one, so it will display the content inside of that variable. So see, it is displaying the content of this shell. Now this is my working shell. What else I can do with the help of this echo command? So what I am doing, echo, I can correlate, I can combine 2 or 3 lines actually. So my writing something, I'm writing something. What I'm writing, hello all. So output was this one, but what I am doing, I can combine this with the help of this redirect operator, right? So let me just give some example. ABC. It will just create a file ABC. Indirectly, this will create a file ABC, but with the help of this redirect operator. We will discuss redirect operator in detail. Press enter. If I press ls, so this ABC will create it actually. So this command will display hello all, and it is redirecting this content into ABC. What else we can do basically? Whenever we use this command, see, I use echo space this symbol and ABC. What should be the output of this command now? By this redirection operator is reverse actually. So here what will happen? The content of ABC is given to echo command. So it is quite similar, echo space ABC. Let us see what will happen. So ABC will be given to ABC will be given to echo command actually, right? So here we can just redirect the things actually. Now we can use info command also here. So here what we can do, same thing. I don't know anything about echo. I can use info space echo also. This will also provide some information pages that are a little bit similar to your echo, you can say man command actually. Fine. So you can find out some alternative tools that will help you people to find out more and more information about a command. Either you can use info, either you can use man. What else? We can have ls command. What is the use of ls? Listening of files. But I don't know whether this ABC is a directory, it is a file, it is a link. What we can do? We can combine different options with ls -l. I can use ls space -l. So it will display the different type of things, the detailed information about a user, about a file. So this ABC file, these are the permissions actually. We will discuss these permissions in detail in coming sessions. But for now, just remember this hyphen option, it is representing that this is a file. Here also, this is a file. Sorry, this is a file. In some entries, D is given. That means that is a directory. In some files, actually, L is given. That means that is a link. It is quite similar to the shortcut in case of Windows. Fine. Moreover, what else? The owner will have read-write permission. Group will read permission, and other will have this read permissions. How many links are there for this file? Only one link is there. Who is the owner? And what is the group of that owner? Then total size. Then when it was modified last time. The file. So this total information will be given. Then ls space -a, it will display the hidden files. So in some cases, we can use, you remember that we have created this auto relabel actually. This was an hidden files. What else? All the files who are hidden, whose name is starting with a dot, they are hidden file in case of ls. We can combine multiple options, ls -a, ls you can say al. We can work out on it. If you face any issue, we can discuss in the coming sessions. Then next one is uname. So with uname, we can use a number of options basically. Uname will display the information about the computer section, right? Hostname we already discussed. Reboot, it will restart your computer. When we want to restart your computer, we can use reboot, or we can use init space 6. We can also use init space 6. But both these options will require administrative rights. This head and tail, they are very helpful for getting or for filtering the content of your files. So see, let me just demonstrate this head and tail. Many times in many interviews, this type of things comes here. So see, I have a file cat. Let me just move to my home directory. Okay, so this tilde symbol, that is some indication for your home directory. So let me just check whether we have password file. PAWSWD, fine. So this file is there and it is quite lengthy actually. Let me just experiment something on this. So what I'm doing, I'm using head space PAWSWD. So head will display the top 10 lines of the file PAWSWD. Let us see. When we run this command, here we run, and these 10 lines will be displayed. These are top 10 lines from this file, etc PAWSWD. When we use tail, so it will display last 10 lines from this file. These are last 10 lines from the file. Now, I want to see the last 2 lines only. What you can do? You can use multiple options, like I can use -2. -2 tail space -2 space PASSWD. So it will display last two lines from a file PASSWD. Let us check. These are the two lines only. I want to display first 5 lines. For that, I can use head space -5 space your file name. Enter. So only first 5 we are displayed. We can combine these two commands. How we can combine? Suppose I want to display first 5 lines, and I want to select the last line from these lines. Means 5th line only. For that we can use tail space -1. Press enter. So only 5th line will be printed here. Only 5th line, that is LP line. Fine. So this is the output actually. So this is how we can combine this head and tail. So many times some interviewer, they may ask this type of questions actually. We can practice on it. If any question, any doubt is there, students, you can ask. Okay. We can also have some more command like more, less, and so on. Suppose I use this command na, cat /etc/PASSWD. It will display the content of etc password file. I press enter, but my screen is at the last of my file actually. Currently, I'm working in my graphical user interface so that I can use my mouse to scroll up and down. But in real time of servers, this facility is not available. You have to work in CLI. So for that, you cannot use your mouse or cursor so that you can access the top end of your file. What you will do? For that, you have to use head and tail, or you have to use more or less. My dear students, just use this, replace this cat with more. The command will be more space /etc/PASSWD. Press enter. So here, the first portion of your file will be displayed. Don't care whether this file is of 100 pages or 1000 pages. The first page will be visible to you. At the last, it is displaying more and then 33%. That means only 33% of the content of this file are on your screen. So we can make an idea that 33 into 3, that means it will be about 3 pages file actually. How you can scroll down? For that, you can use either your space bar, or you can use enter key, or you can use our down arrow. So for page by page scrolling, what you can do? You can just use your space bar. This is your second page. It is 79%, and it is more. Again, space bar. This is your third page. So your page, means your file is scrolled completely and it is closed. You can write your next command. You can use less also. Okay, head and tail. Okay, actually, head means it will display the first 10 line of a file. Suppose this was the file now. So it was content of the file cat space etc password. So it is a four pages file actually. Now I want to just display. Suppose you people are working, you people are using internet in your university, and I am administrator of your university and want to just check which type of websites you are using right now. So for that, I have to access the latest log file from my servers, current log file actually. I'm not interested in older log files, older website you have access. I'm interested only in the current log files. So for that, what I will use the latest information, latest log files, and that can be at the bottom of the log files. So if I want to see the bottom of log file, I will use tal phase. So this is nothing but a replacement of CAD. I can use head and tail instead of CAD. Head will display the first 10 line, tail will display the last 10 line. So let us see etc PAWSWD. So I use this tail on last this file. So what will be the output? It will display the last 10 line. These are the last 10 lines. If I use head, it will display first 10 lines. Now, it will depend upon you what type of things you are using. You are using head or tail. Why? In which situation you are using it. So if you want to access the bottom side, you will use tail. If you want to access the top side, you will use head. Akshat, I think it is clear, beta. If any issue is there, you can ask. Okay, fine. So let us move again. When we talk about this less, so similarly, I can use less with the help of etc password. So I have to replace cat only. I can replace cat with the help of more, less, head, tail. Output will be different, little bit different in case of head and tail, but more and less they are similarly. Actually, we can scroll our pages by screen by screen. Now, when we run our less command, so it is an alternative tool that can be used instead of your more command. We can scroll up, scroll down like that. You can use space bar to page by page scrolling. But here advantage is that when we run this command and I want to come out of it, just press Q in between the file. I can come out of it. But in case of you can say more, you have to press space bar again and again until the file is you can say scroll up completely. After the file is scroll up and it can come out, right? This is the difference between these. So head, tail, more, less, these different tools we can work. What else we have? Some other commands are also there, like who am I? Already I have run this who. That means it will display all the users which are currently logged in on your server. I am saying logged in user detail. If you want to find out information about all the user created on your system, you will use etc password find, etc PAWSWD. You want to just check which are the different type of user who are logged in on your system. I will use a command who. What it is displaying, my dear students, it is displaying the user, its username. So my user Sonu is logged in 3 different word terminals actually, right? So this is seat 0, terminal 2, terminal 4, and then it is displaying the time and date where it is logged in. Fine. So this is your date and time, and it is your terminal number. Now I want to just check from which user I have logged in. Currently, you can also find out from this root, but in some situation, it is you can say not shown to you. Just use who am I and see the output. So it is root. So you are logged in with the help of root user. Fine. So these are the different type of commands basically. Fine. Now let us discuss about the next command, that is history. So my dear students, you are aware about the history command, and some of you have faced this type of issues, like when we run history, older history is overwritten. We can we change the size or limit of the history file so that a number of files, a number of commands we can remember, we can adjust them. Yes, we have these 3-4 options. Like we have hist size, a variable hist size. that will display the commands, number of commands that can be stored in your history. So let us demonstrate that one. So let me just clear this one. So first of all, let me just use this one echo. I'm using echo and just trying to display hist size. So there is a variable hist size. I'm just displaying its content with the help of echo command. So right now, my dear students, my history size is 1000. 1000 history commands I can remember. I don't know where this history is saved. Try to find out it. Of course, we can have a file and its name is hist file. So let us see. Echo dollar hist file, enter. So this is the path where our history is saved. Under root, this hidden file is there and its file name is .bash_history. You can work on it out, but don't try to change the content. Just see and analyze the contents. No? Now, what else? I want to change the size or number of command that can be stored in a particular system actually. For that, we can have history file. His file is for displaying the content of a file that will store your history file actually. So basically where we have to store our sequence of commands somewhere. Na? So that will represent a file where these commands will be stored actually. It is clear now? So this will be the path actually. Under root directory, this hidden file will be there, bash directory. So it is a hidden file in which all the entries will be stored actually. Fine. So now we want to change the size of this particular history file. So for that, this history file size option is there. History files size option is there, right? So here, let us check echo space dollar history file size. Fine. So simply it is 1000 now. Just use this dollar history size and equal to provide the value. I think spelling is mistake. Let me check. Give me a second, friends. Let me just type this one. I'm just providing value. Fine. So here you can just provide the value without a dollar actually. You want to access this information, then you have to use dollar actually. If you want to assign some variable name, then just use that name and provide assignment operator and provide the value. So this is how we can change the things. Now, in some interviews, the interview may ask that you have to display the last 5 history lines only. The last 5 command. I'm just interested in last 5 commands that you have run on your system. For that, what we will do, students, just use history command, and for that, just use number history space 5 enter. So it will display last 5 commands actually. It will display last 5 commands. So this is how we can just find out the information about your history, manage the information about history, and so on. Let me just cover my last topic for today. Remaining we will cover by tomorrow. One or two topics are pending. Actually, we cannot complete today. So we will resume this one. Last one is your ID command actually. So I can use this ID. When I run this ID, so it will display different information about your identification for your system actually. It will display the user ID. Currently, I'm running from the root account actually. My username is root. So my user ID is 0. My group ID is also 0, right? And so on. Here, what we can do basically, we can use a different option with the help of this like this. So ID space -a. It will display all the details. It will print all the information about you can say different type of IDs. I can also use, like I want to just find out information about my working shell, or you can say kernel shell, about kernel. Okay, I think it is not working. Okay. Okay, I will cover this tomorrow. Na? I think 10 minutes are there. Na? We can go for queries and go for questions if any issues there. Na? That will be resumed by tomorrow. We will cover this one. Okay. So students, today what we have done today, we have covered, we started from, you can say, basic Linux configuration files. We have discussed this networking files, upstep files, host files, time zone, password, group, shell, shadow, and then probe directories. After that, we discuss about how we can mount and unmount your file system. Then we discuss about the type of file system available in your Linux. Then we discuss about the directory structure. What are the role of directories in your Linux? Then we configure message of the day, and at the last we discuss about some important commands like man, info, history, ID, cal. You can say this different, right? So any question, any doubt is there, we can interact for 5 to 10 minutes. So now you can unmute yourself if any question is there, students. Let me just try to, yeah. Students, you can unmute yourself if you want to ask something. I will happy to answer your queries. Students, I will be happy to answer your queries if you want to ask something. Yeah, Tanu, yes. Basically, it will give some information about your user ID and as well as group ID. Some universal ID will also be there. We will discuss it tomorrow. No issue. Hash means some encrypted form actually. We change the form of some text actually. You know, some encryption actually. Whenever we enter some password, like you are using Gmail. So if we enter password of Gmail, I enter 123, but you will see a star instead of this 1, star instead of this 2. So this is nothing but we are changing the form, or you can say we are hiding some information for the user. So hash function will be there basically, like there is a password 123, and I apply a hash. That password will be double. Password value will be double. So from 123, it will become 246. My password will be 246. So my hash function will be my password into 2. So this is nothing but a function actually, through which we can encrypt our password. It is clear, Amit? Okay, beta. If you want, you can unmute yourself. Any question is there? Fine. I mean, I think no question is there. So hand over to Ashish sir for further proceeding.
Okay, guys. So thank you, Naren sir, for conducting this wonderful session, and thank you for all the students to make this patience and listen the whole session. If you still anyone have any query, any question, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Till now, topics to be covered. Take your time. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes. If you still have any question, you just ask them.
I think no question is there, student. Okay. Probe CPU info. No, actually, I say na this probe directory is used for some dynamic information. Actually, we can store, we can access some real-time information from this, like your kernel modules, kernel information, CPU information, memory information. So this particular file will display information about your CPU, its architecture, which family of this processor you are using. Like there may be different type of processor, na? So if an attacker want to attack on your system, he must be aware about the architecture of your processor. So suppose you are using AMD processor and I want to install a tool that will help me in attacking your system. And I don't know what is the processor, what is the architecture for your system. So I'm trying to install a some Intel based software 32. Suppose you are using 64-bit processor and I have 32-bit software what is stored on your system. So it will be difficult for me. So first of all, what I will do, I will find out information about your hardware, then search for some suitable, you can say, software that can be installed on your system, and I can do my task. So it will help to find out information about your hardware. I hope this is clear, Tarun. Okay. So I hope no further question is there. So thank you for joining. We will be meeting tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you all. Thank you all.